Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. Today we're going to learn how to turn sports jerseys into squares for a quilt. So if you want to know how to turn this shape into this shape, please stay tuned. So let's get started. The first thing is getting our materials together. So you're going to need a rotary cutting mat, which is this, and basically this just lets me cut on it without damaging anything underneath. It's nice and firm. I also have my rotary cutter here, and I have a 6x24 ruler that I'll be using, and I have my square ruler, and both of these have the lines for the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, just to help me with my measuring while I am cutting. Okay, so let me get one of the jerseys. I have all of the jerseys for this quilt. This is the first one that we're going to be working with. For this quilt, I'm going to be doing 20 jersey squares, and I've already started, and I'll only do a couple on camera just so you can get an idea of what I'm doing, and I will finish the rest of them off camera. So to start with, I'm just going to find a straight edge so that I can get the top of my jerseys, and then I'll do the sides. Now each one of these jerseys is going to be 12.5 inches. The finished size is going to be 12 inches plus the 1/2 inch for the seam allowances on all sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a spot, find a line on this ruler, and choose arbitrarily a mark to line it up with. And for this one, it's going to be under the number 1. And so I'm putting it with this inch mark on number 1. Okay, just to get a straight edge so I can cut the top. So what I'm going to do to cut the top is I'm going to lay the 6x24 inch beside the other one, and I'm going to butt them up edge to edge. Okay, then I'll move this other ruler away because this is the edge that I'm going to cut. And since I'm a lefty, I'm going to hold the ruler with the left hand and cut with my right hand. That's not right. Switch that. Hold the ruler with my right hand and cut with my left hand. Okay, and so now you see that there's one smooth edge to start with. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the actually I don't have to turn it. Okay, since I am a lefty, I can keep it the same way. Now I'm going to find my bottom edge. So what I'll do is I'll take this ruler, and I'm looking for the 12.5 inch line right here. You can choose to mark it off with tape or something so that it's really easy to see. But I tried that, but then I couldn't do it. Okay, so now I can turn. I should have turned it. Alright, turn so that I'm always cutting with my left hand since that's my dominant hand. And so from the 12.5 inch mark until the end of the ruler, this is gonna be my bottom edge. Okay, so again, I'll take the ruler and butt it up right next to the square ruler. Move the square ruler away, and that gives me a nice smooth line for the bottom edge. Okay, now to do the center. To do the side cuts, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball. This is why it would be good to have some tape to mark off that 12.5 inch mark. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and like on this side of Magic I have about 1.5 inches, and then on this side of Magic I'll have about 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit more. So I'm just going to turn it over, and I'm going to match up my top line and the bottom line with the ruler, with lines on the ruler to make it nice and even. Okay, and I'm pulling out. These basketball jerseys are a little bit tricky. Okay, so it should be about, try to make it even on both sides. So it's about 1.25 inches and then about 1.25 inches. Okay, so I'll take this one and go ahead and give it a good cut. Okay, and then since I am a lefty, switch it around. Of course, if you're a righty, you just go the opposite way. Okay. And then I'll line up these with the top and bottom. Again, looking for that 12.5 inch mark. And 12.5. Make sure everything is lined up nice and smooth. And then last cut. Okay. And for these, sometimes they don't end up exactly perfectly square. This one's actually done better than my other ones. Okay. And it doesn't really matter if they're perfectly square. You just want to have as much room to sew that you can. Okay, so that's one of the basketball jerseys. I'll just move that one over to the side. And I will hold on to, this is just a scrap. And since I do make my sashing squares out of this fabric, the jersey fabric, I do hold on to some of it. Okay, but the little pieces like this, they can just go in the trash. Alright, let's do one football jersey. And then you see I still have all of these to do. So let's do one football jersey. And then you can, you'll get the idea. And of course, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments box so that I may answer them. Alright, so just like last time, we're going to find a spot. I'm going to use this bottom yellow line to line up with a line on here. Okay, so that I can get the top edge, butting these up right next to each other. Okay, and then move the square ruler away, and then hold this one really sturdy. Okay, and there's my top edge. And you can see that this jersey is much smaller, or much bigger than the other jersey. Okay, so I'm going to take this and create my bottom edge. I'm just going to measure 12.5 from the top. Uh-oh, I have a problem. Now, what's going to happen, the 12.5 mark is about right here. So what I need to do now is I'm going to just move this down so that it's centered, and then I'll just have to make a couple more cuts. Alright, you can see how much bigger this jersey is. So I'm going to try and give myself, looks like about 1/2 inch up top, and then 1/2 inch underneath to cut. So that when I sew it, there's still some room to actually see the whole jersey. And that's why you want to try to center it so that you get some good measurements. And this one I'm just going to cut righty, since that's just the way it ended up. I'm cutting the top one more time just to get a good measurement. And when you cut with if you're cutting with your weaker hand, just be super duper careful so that you hold that ruler steady and keep the rotary cutter steady. And see, I messed up a little bit right there. So I'm just going to go back through and give it a nice little trim. There. Okay. Now, again, finding the 12.5 inch mark on this one. This is to find the bottom edge. 12.5 inches. here, and then grabbing the 6x24, butt them up end to end, hold it nice and firm. Okay, a nice cut there. And for these football jerseys, this part I will not throw away because of the tiny holes. I'll look for the green fabric that does not have holes in it, and I may show you that later. Okay, now to do the sides. Again, try to center it. I'll do the right side first. So I'm finding the 12.5 inch mark right here. And then, so this side it has like 2 inches, so I'm going to move over just a little bit. Looking for maybe 1 3/4 inches. So 1 3/4 inches. Oh, that's still about 2, so here we go. Over, over, over. Just a little bit to get it as even as possible. Okay, so I'll cut this side first. This is actually the left side. Keep getting all confused. Okay, and then I'll flip the ruler, looking again for that 12.5 inch mark. And this time I will cut righty, so I'm trying to be sure to hold this firm with my left hand and apply enough pressure with my right hand. Okay, and there we go. Alright, and so here is another finished square. Okay. And I will finish the rest of these so that you can see them. I'll do those off camera. Thank you for watching. Please thumbs up, comment, subscribe. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Have a great day.